thought today on the air, we were watching the 99 Rams.
Studios just download the Sleeper
40-point
app today.
minimum.
Must be present in certain states.
Blow the
Visit
doors
sleeper.com
off them.
for details. The Eagles open up their season tonight against the Packers in Brazil, and all eyes are on Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. The Eagles have a Super Bowl caliber roster, and the only thing that can derail this season is if the QB and coach can't coexist. So this duo better get on the same page, because it'd be a great disservice to the city of Philadelphia if they fail to do so.
Yeah, Lamar missed those throws, man.
94 WIP HD1 Philadelphia. Sports Radio 94 WIP presents the Eagles Radio Network. The Eagles emerge from the preseason healthy and hungry.
It's very important to come out strong and to come out fast.
Tonight, the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles take the field.
I'm excited to see where this year goes, but it starts right now.
As they open the season in Brazil against the Green Bay Packers. Today's game is sponsored in part by PNC Bank, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey, PBQ Restaurant Point of Sale Systems, your Delaware Valley Honda dealers, Verizon, and Piazza Auto Group. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Show, the Philadelphia Eagles, powered by Verizon. Joe Giglio alongside Ike Reese. Hugh Douglas will be joined later on by Howard Eskin, Eliot Shorr-Parks, Dave Spadaro as we get set for the start of the 2024 season. The Eagles in Brazil, and we are at Lincoln Financial Field for the start of another season. Guys, welcome to another season. Ike Reese, how we doing?
Brother, I am excited. It is like Christmas in September. It is opening night for the Philadelphia Eagles, and quite frankly, I mean, we spend all year long talking about the birds. We do. We break them down, off-season moves, transactions, what it's going to look like in training camp. We go through the season. We break down every game. It's nonstop, man. This is what we have sort of built our lives around as a fan base.
Ball is life.
As a fan base, and so we've come to the day of reckoning. Now we get to actually see it all being put into action. Forget about all the talk, even though we'll talk for the next 2 hours. But we get to actually see these guys in action tonight, big fella.
No question about it, man. I tell you what, I don't know about you, Ike, but every time the football season starts, I get that little twinge in my little gut, and I cannot wait till it starts. Still feel like I can play, man.
You ready to smash somebody?
Yeah, but then the reality kicks in and these knees start hurting. But the bottom line is this, man. We got football that's back. All the speculation, all the reckless speculation that we've done, now we get to see what's really real right now.
Well, we do, and there's a lot that's different, and hopefully the ending is a lot different than last year. Look, last year they won 11 games, but it didn't feel like an 11-win season the way it ended. Didn't feel like it. And they made a lot of changes this offseason that they hope, and we hope, nets a better result at the end of the year. 2 new coordinators. They signed a star running back. That is something the Eagles very rarely do. Ike, of all the changes, which is the one that you're the most excited to see it now that we've talked about it for 5 or 6 or 7 months? Tonight we get to watch it. Of all the changes from last year to this year, what's the one that you're excited to watch the most?
It's got to be Saquon. It's got to be Saquon. Listen, Joe, I grew up on the era of your franchise player was the running back. You built your team around the running game. I understand the game has evolved from that, and I've embraced it. I love a good quarterback, a passing guy. I love our wide receivers. But I still, when I think about what excites me about being a football fan and some of the teams that I've rooted for and cheered for, the running back position has always had a star, impactful player there. We talk about Deuce with us, Hugh.
Yeah.
B. West with us, right? We talk about the Ricky Waters, the Wilbur Montgomerys, on down to arguably the greatest running back in franchise history, and Shady McCoy. Like, when you talk about Eagles football, I'm thinking defense and running game. And so to have Saquon in the fold and have the ability to throw the ball, I'm excited about watching what Saquon could do here. Because we've all watched him throughout his career in this division. And we saw what he's up there dealing with in New York. And you wonder, what would this guy be like if he was surrounded by talent? We got him out to year 6, so he's going into year 7. Let's hope there's a lot of tread still left on those tires. And as a matter of fact, I would say leaning on Saquon through the first 4 to 6 games of the season is probably the way to go.
Well, I agree with you, Hugh. It's going to be interesting to see how they use Saquon, right? Because a couple things. One, the Eagles like to throw the football, but now they have a star back they can lean on. And Hugh, using Saquon a lot, let's say tonight or the first 4 weeks, like I said, it could help this defense because keeping them off the field might be the way to go against a big-time offense. And Hugh, how much do you expect them to use Saquon now that they brought him in the fold?
Man, I like we talked about it earlier today, as we progressed and we got closer to this game, Joe, my sentiment started to change, and I was thinking to myself, like, we know Eagles can throw the football. I mean, they can throw the football in their sleep. They can wake up and throw for 200 yards easily with the receivers that we have. The one component that we did not have last year was that running game. And that's why as the day progressed, and sorry, Kyle, but I changed my mindset when we talked about passing yards for Saquon. I was like, no, you need to take Saquon. You need to establish the fact this year that you can run the football, because you know what that does? That sends a message to everybody else that you have to play, because we all know the Eagles can throw the football. That, like I said, that's a given. But if you run the football down the Packers' throats tonight, Pause. You're going to let – oh, yeah, that's right, Paul. But anyway, if you do that, you're gonna make it. You're gonna send a message to everybody else in the NFL and say, hey, listen, this Eagles is a balanced football team, and they can beat you throwing the ball or running the ball.
Well, he's the biggest on-field difference. The other big difference is that we're going to see starting tonight, guys, the coordinators. I mean, they brought in –
That's not me.
They brought in 2 guys that have big names. They've had a lot of success in the NFL. Kellen Moore, Ike has had a good amount of success. And then obviously Vic Fangio's had a ton of success. Let's go to the Vic Fangio angle, as we just talked about Saquon on the offense. Vic Fangio, how much of a difference can he make? Because last year, that was a bad defense last year. And they spent a lot of capital on draft picks the last few years for this to be a good defense. How much of a difference can Vic Fangio make year 1, Ike?
I think it make a huge difference. I think by, first of all, having a fundamentally sound schematic defense that everybody buys into, and there's a rhyme and reason as to what you're doing. We've had the sort of Vic Fangio light versions of his defense, but now we have the actual teacher, the master, calling the defense, putting guys in the right place. And I think there is a method or a way that he coaches that these young guys, at least for now, can appreciate. Because while you do have a couple of older guys on the defense is comprised of mostly younger, unproven guys. And Hugh will tell you, when you're a group of guys that is looking for that direction, you want to be great, you just want to have the right person leading you there, you're willing to buy in. We were 3-13 under Ray Rhodes. I was a backup player on that defense, obviously, behind Hugh and those great guys. When Jim Johnson came in, much like a Vic Fangio, Jim Johnson had way more talent to work with than Vic Fangio has to work with. But what I bring in Jim Johnson up is because we were a team that was looking for an identity, that knew we had good players. We needed the right leadership and direction. And it wasn't easy in that first year with Jim. Jim made us, we had to earn that respect from Jim. But we were better off for it, and we all loved him for what he got the best out of us. And that's what I think about when I think about Vic Fangio. These young players, the ones that will buy in and believe in him and trust him, they're going to be better players for it. And those guys that want to buck the system and don't want to buy in, they won't be here very long.
Yeah, and listen, he's a guy that's had a lot of success. He's won. He's had good defense. He's been a head coach in the NFL. And Hugh, they brought this guy in here for one reason. Get this defense back to respectability, because if they're respectable on defense with the big-time offense, Hugh, this is your thing. That's the formula now in the NFL. Decent defense, okay defense, pretty good defense. Luxury, as some people would call it. Yeah,
I heard you today. Yeah.
You're brainwashing people, Hugh. But Hugh, with Fangio here and this offense, are the expectations for you back to Super Bowl with the Eagles?
No, it is. And the reason why I say that, Joe, is like I need my defense. I need this defense, because like I look at it like this: we're talking possessions. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is if I'm having more success on my possessions than you are, that puts you in a pickle because now that takes you out of your game plan. Every team goes into a game and they have a philosophy or a pattern that they want to follow. Like I would say going up against the Green Bay Packers, they're probably going to come in here and they're going to want to try to take away the passing game from us and force us to do something we really didn't do a good job of last year, and that's running the football. So when you come in and you do something like that, and you take away certain things that teams do, that puts you in a better position to have success.
Well, it does, and now we're going to find out if they're ready because, this has been a training camp where things have looked up for the Eagles. It was a weird offseason, but now it feels like expectations are raising. The further we get from last year and the more we get excited for this year, I've seen so many predictions this week. Everyone at WIP's made their predictions, but it feels like there are some people that doubt how good they could be, how great they could be. But there are now you're starting to see that Super Bowl, deep playoff run expectation, and that's the whole point. That's what the Eagles always strive for. Ike, your big picture expectation, in your mind, are they back to being one of the elite in the NFC?
Yes, I think they should be. Obviously, time will tell, but I don't see much reason to doubt that. Here's when I look at the Eagles. I think the Eagles as an offense should be the driving force behind this team, obviously. No, don't get me wrong.
Defense still matters, Hugh.
Oh, no, yeah, don't worry. I'll get to that part.
Good.
I'm just telling you the strength of the team is the offense.
Oh, yeah.
And so they have to do a great job of playing complementary football, not putting their defense in tough positions by getting a bunch of 3-and-outs and asking these guys to go out here and slow down some of these high-powered offenses. If they can give this defense time to grow, I have the ceiling on the defense as a top 16 team.
Well, that could be good enough. And
that's all I need.
Yep.
I think that's good enough with this offense to get me to the Super Bowl. This is certainly a conference championship title type of a team. Can they win that game? I got them playing Detroit in the NFC championship game. And I believe they can beat Detroit and go to the Super Bowl and take on the Chiefs and see if they can stop this three-peat. Stop this three-peat. But I got them at 12-5. And listen, the start to the season is going to matter. The middle of the season is going to be tough. And then I think the schedule lightens up for us at the end.
Almost the opposite of last year.
Yeah, but we got to get off to we can't get off to a 2-2, 1-3 start. It has to be 3-1.
I agree.
At worst, 3-2. Like that has to be like the bottom.
I agree. But the schedule's lighter. We got a lot to discuss here on the pregame show. We're live.
Defense matters, Hugh.
We are. We're live with the link.
Not so much.
Well, no, Hugh, don't start with this. All right, we're going to talk more defense, and we got to talk about the quarterback. The expectations for Jalen Hurts. Is he back to be an MVP level player? We'll hit that next. This is the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Eagles game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Eagles watching. Better with Pepsi.
This football season, get in the game at Acme. Buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoop It and Win sweepstakes. You could win 2025 Eagles season tickets or autographed Eagles merch and more. Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Golden Nugget Jewelers is where Philly gets engaged. Why? Because Golden Nugget carries famous designers like Tacori, Verraggio, and many more. And with the largest inventory of loose diamonds around, they can also help you create your own design. Golden Nugget has the best price guarantee, a lifetime upgrade policy, and jewelers on site for same-day repairs and cleanings. Their friendly, family-oriented staff will make you look and feel like a hero. Golden Nugget Jewelers at the corner of 8th and Chestnut or at goldennuggetjewelry.com. It's where Philly gets engaged.
When you're cheering for the Eagles at the top of your lungs, intimidating rivals with your boisterous, loyal presence, just remember, the McDonald's app is cheering for you, rain or shine.
That's why Philly fans get a free Big Mac with a $2 purchase the day after the Eagles sack the quarterback. It's a Big Mac for a sack, only in the McDonald's app. Offer valid once a week at participating McDonald's the day after the game. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Eagles fans, you know about power on the field. But what about your power to choose who supplies your home electricity? When you choose NRG, you'll get a home energy plan that gives you more, like cash back, travel rewards, or charitable contributions. Best of all, switching to NRG is a snap. Visit picknrg.com/Eagles to experience what power should be. NRG, official energy provider of the Philadelphia Eagles.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
When it comes to unique experiences, pick Tick Pick, an official fan experience partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. With no hidden fees ever, pick Tick Pick to attend an exclusive tailgate and Tick Pick landing at Lincoln Financial Field. A chance to win prizes or hold the American flag on the field pregame for every Eagles home game. You'll even have a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Eagles-Dallas game on December 29th. Download the Tick Pick app and enjoy the best experiences supporting your Philadelphia Eagles this season.
What's on the menu for football season? Pork, of course. Get ready for game day with Hatfield and put some pork on your fork. Elevate your or gridiron gourmet. Hatfield helps you savor the taste of victory. Visit simplyhatfield.com for play-by-play menu inspiration. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on!
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
Can you hear me, Mike?
It's connected to another access.
Okay. All right.
Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters.
Got me now, Mike?
Sports Radio 94 WIP. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for the opener tonight. The Philadelphia Eagles hosting, even though they're in Brazil, the Green Bay Packers. Kickoff about 8:15. And, of course, the game tonight, a home game for the Eagles, which we lost here. But that doesn't mean we don't have a big crowd going. So we're at Lincoln Financial Field doing the pregame show tonight at the Link, live at the Link, where there is a good number of people here entering and getting ready for this game, Ike Reese. We have a crowd here, and we're going to do a little something different, a little something new. End of this hour, guys, we're going to get someone from the crowd here to lead us in an Eagles chant. We're going to pick out a member of the crowd in front of us.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're going to have someone lead us in an Eagles chant coming up at the end of this hour. All right, guys, the player to watch, sponsored by the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers, Local 1, Pennsylvania, Delaware, building the city and surrounding counties one brick, one stone, and one tile at a time for over 150 years. Well, it could be nobody else besides Jalen Hurts. He's the guy that I'm watching tonight. And my question is this. We've had 3 years of Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback, and they've been three different kinds of players, right? 2021, he got his feet wet.
Yep.
Let's say he was the 20th best quarterback in football. Then 2 years ago, he was a legitimate MVP candidate, one of the best players in the NFL, top 5 quarterback.
Yep.
And then last year, he slid back, wherever he was, 10, 12, 13.
Yep.
He wasn't as good. Ike, what level of Jalen Hurts do you expect this season?
Well, I expect Jalen to be closer to what we saw in 2022. I mean, let's face it. When you have the weaponry that he has around him, really, it's just going to be about understanding where the ball is supposed to go, get it out of your hands quick, and let your playmakers make the plays for you. Like, this is an offense where I'm watching last night's game, right? And I'm watching the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is a phenomenal player, phenomenal athlete. You see how much work he has to do to play the quarterback position. I mean, he got to throw for 270 and run for 130 just for them to even have a chance to win a game. Jalen doesn't have to do that. So he has enough skill position guys around him. As long as he knows where to go with the football and trust his guys, I have no concerns about Jalen Hurts this year. I think Jalen Hurts gets back to playing at an MVP level, and I have him as a top 5 to 10 quarterback in this league. That's where I have him at. And quite frankly, don't be offended by that. We're in a league, Joe, in an era of football where if I were to name you 12 quarterbacks in the league, 12 to 13 top quarterbacks in the league, what do you mean to tell me you wouldn't take one of those guys to be your franchise quarterback?
Well, heck, half the league is making $50 million a year
Right.
now playing quarterbacks.
So I understand we all want a top 5 guy, a top 3 guy. And if Jalen were that, I got no problem with it. All I'm saying is that's not a necessity to win.
So you don't think they need MVP level Jalen?
They don't need him to play at an MVP level. And what I mean by that is he doesn't need to feel as if he has to go out there and try to score every time he gets the football.
Yeah, hero ball.
Yes, he doesn't have to do that. You know what? Sometimes if the defense has your number on a series, it's okay to punt and live to fight another down.
And last year, Hugh, Jalen got away from that. His decision making, especially late in the season, it felt like he was trying to rescue them all the time or make the big play. The game against Seattle, where they threw the interception late in the game, doing too much. Hugh, what your expectation for Jalen now with Kellen Moore and a new offense?
You know what's funny? The year, and I hate to bring up old memories for us, but the year the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat us, and I threw this out there the other day. Brad Johnson was the 18th ranked quarterback in the NFL that year. Kurt Warner was number 1. So to Ike's point, you don't have to be great, but you could be serviceable. And I think with Jalen's being serviceable with the skill set that he has, that translates to him being a pretty damn good quarterback. Like, play within the scheme, man. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. You got a bunch of playmakers around you. I don't see this being that hard. If there are games where, say, for instance, Jalen doesn't have his fastball, he's not throwing well, hand the ball off. Hand the ball off to the running back.
And that's on Kellen Moore, too.
Put him in the right spots.
Kellen Moore can't feel the need to have to throw the ball all the time.
Yeah, just because you got the receiver. Like, don't feel the need to justify the money that's being doled out on the offensive side of the ball to get the receivers involved. Hell, run the ball. Like I told you today when we were getting ready to leave, Joe, I said, I have a feeling that this team tonight, if I'm playing the Packers, run the ball down their throat. And I know people are listening, talking about, well, we had a running back last year. Listen.
Nah.
It's not the same thing, bro.
He loves meat on the bone.
As much as I love DeAndre Swift, you got to admit that there were times where it just felt like it was like eating a meal that wasn't good. It was a meal that didn't get you full or nothing, and that's how it felt with our running game. I'm talking about a lineup, what they used to call 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
Like that kind of running game. I'm not saying I don't need Saquon Barkley to be Eddie George back there, but if he's a Brian Westbrook or somebody like that, it doesn't have to be a thumper.
Oh, I'll take
but
that.
But just somebody that's a difference maker. Every time B. West touched the rock, whether it was in the passing game or the running game, or when he was in the backfield, you respected the fact that he was back there. DeAndre Swift, with all due respect, that wasn't the type of back that he was.
You didn't put fear in anybody.
No, he wasn't that guy.
Saquon makes you
put
the defense know what 26 is at.
I tell you what, it's gonna be 8 mofos in the. I forgot what I was at. I forget. Got to tone this thing.
It's a family
down
show,
a
Hugh. All right,
bit.
Jalen's legs. How much do you think they're still part of this? Because last year he did not move as well. I know he had the knee issue, but I also wonder, Ike, this is a guy that's run the football a lot for a long time. You go back to Alabama and you go back to Oklahoma. I mean, this guy's. Ike, he's had 1,100 rushes since he started college. I wonder, as we move forward, how much is he still a runner, or is he going to be less of that as the years go on?
That's a good question, and I'm interested to see myself. I like the fact that he seemingly has probably lost about 5 to 8 pounds. Sort of back off the weightlifting.
Lamar did that, and he ran really well last night.
Back off the weightlifting a little bit. You don't have to be as muscular, throwing the ball and running and worried about that sort of thing. But I do want Kellen Moore, and this goes back to Kellen Moore, because he hasn't had a quarterback with the ability of a Jalen Hurts. Dak ran a little bit.
When he was young, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But Jalen has the ability to really hurt you as a runner. I want to see him run. Honestly, me, and I'm talking about design QB runs. Give me 6 to 8 QB runs a game.
Hugh?
Nope. I don't need that many. No, I hear it. And listen, no disrespect to my partner, my ace, Boom Coon, but last night to me was the tale of 2 different football games. Like, I get the fact that you want them in there to keep teams honest, but I need Jalen. I need Jalen for me to beat you from the pocket, because the most memorable plays that we had last night were passing plays. Some of those were the positive ones, and some of those were the negative ones. Because what did you tell when we first walked up here? Damn, Lamar missed 2 key plays in the fourth quarter, but he ran the hell out the football. He ran the hell out. Like, he lit him up on the ground. Dog, I need my quarterback to beat you from the pocket, and that's what Patrick Mahomes did last night for the most part. You know, the one significant running play that he had was in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Mahomes, when it was in the fourth quarter, when he broke the team's back, when he ran for that first down in the waning moments of the game.
Like he usually does.
Yeah, that's
He did it to us 2 years ago in the Super Bowl.
That is his MO. You know what I need Jalen to do, since we talk about specifics? I need Jalen to move around enough to keep plays alive, to extend plays, and get them to the playmakers. That's it. If Jalen gives me that, that's fine. And pull it down and run when it's absolutely necessary.
So you want less running?
Yeah, I would like that. I want more of the passer Jalen Hurts last year that I saw in the beginning of the season, and less Jalen Hurts run around, potentially get himself hurt. Because let me tell you what else stuck out to me last night. As well as Lamar Jackson ran, and as slim as he is, and as electrifying as he is, it's a couple plays when he went out there and he dropping his shoulders on DBs.
Yeah, don't need him doing that.
How long you think that's going to last? He ain't Josh Allen. He's not Josh Allen.
Yeah,
and Jalen has a tendency to do that stuff too. All right, coming up, we will talk more about the game tonight and the implications, because it's not just a Week 1 game. This could be seeding in the NFC hierarchy. Where are the Eagles? Where will they be by the end of the season? This is the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on.
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice. Let's go.
This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV, and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Take a chance, you'll see. You like slots, we've got lots. Blackjack, roulette, take your shot. It's where you want to be.
Bet Rivers Online Casino is your home for chance. With hundreds of slots, live table games, and more. Bet Rivers Online Casino. Check out the app.
Take a chance.
Must be 21 plus and physically present in Pennsylvania or New Jersey. Void where prohibited. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Brian Dawkins, Hall of Fame safety and AAA member. And I know the importance of someone having your back on and off the field. With AAA, you'll have peace of mind knowing that you're covered with the gold standard of roadside assistance in any car, anytime, anywhere. And on the plus side, MVP members get 15% off at the Pro Shop, a chance to win game tickets and exclusive access to team events. So don't fumble this opportunity. Join today at AAA.com/Eagles.
Since 1904, Philly's top sandwich pros and homemakers have always started the exact same way, with those legendary Amoroso's rolls baked fresh daily. Pick up a 6-pack of Amoroso's Eagles tailgate rolls at your favorite supermarkets and food stores. Want to make the very best sandwiches? Always start with the very best sandwich rolls. Amoroso's.
Why Philly sandwiches are world famous.
Did you know one of the world's fastest growing fintechs is right here in Philadelphia? Meet Freedom Pick, the next level technology reinventing the world of commerce. We are a network of winners, which is why we're proud to be a partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Get to know us. We will show you technology that can transform your business. Or come work with us and become part of our global team. Freedom Pick.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Right now, get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson or Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end September 30th. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, plumbers protect the health of the nation. And Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
This week at Acme, don't miss the football items of the week, like Nutella Be Ready, or Nutella Chocolate Hazelnut Spread for $3.49, Nutella Biscuits for $3.99, or Nutella and Go for $5.99 each. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
True Philly fans know that thirsty birds fly faster with Bird Gang Spirits. Bird Gang's starting lineup of bourbon, vodka, and tequilas are made for true Philly fans. The pre-gamers, the tailgaters, die-harders, and lifelongers. This year's limited edition release of Bird Gang commemorates the 75th anniversary of the Eagles' 1949 World Championship. Pick up a bottle at your liquor store today or order directly at BOTLD.com. Bird Gang Spirits. Go Birds! 2024 Bird Gang Spirit. Direct delivery available only to PA residents. Please drink responsibly.
This football season, get in the game at Acme. Buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoopin' and Win sweepstakes. You could win 2025 Eagles season tickets or autographed Eagles merch and more. Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Talking Eagles season opener tomorrow, 8 to 10 a.m. Hugh Douglas and Joe Giglio on WIP.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for the Eagles and the Packers tonight. And look, this isn't just a big Week 1 game, probably the biggest Week 1 game, this one and the one last night we're going to have in the NFL. But it's a big one here for the state of the NFC. Let's hit the state of the race here as we get set for one that could have big implications in January.
The state of the race.
All right, guys, when we look at this game, to me, Ike, it's not just a Week 1 game. It's a game that we could be talking about 4 months from now when it's seeding in the NFC. So let's talk about the Packers, right? Not just the Eagles. How good do you think Green Bay is? Because they might be the most hyped team of August and September that I've seen in a while. They're getting a lot of love to go to the Super Bowl. How good do you think this Green Bay team is?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd be shocked if they aren't in the discussion late in the season to play in the championship game. I mean, it's going to be a real battle between them and Detroit in that NFC North, man. Because I like Detroit as well. I mentioned earlier I had the Eagles playing Detroit in the NFC Championship game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were Eagles-Green Bay or if it was Green Bay-Detroit. Like, that's how much I think about these three teams at the top. And I would have thrown San Francisco in there, but they're coming off the Super Bowl loss. On paper, they certainly have enough talent to be there. It'll be interesting to see how they navigate through the season. But to your point about Green Bay, I mean, Jordan Love finished up the season arguably playing the best football of anybody in the entire NFL.
His numbers November on were insane. It was almost, I think it was 23 touchdowns, 3 picks his last 10 games.
And you watch as much football as Hugh and I do. Jordan Love looked clueless at times in the first half of the season.
And then it clicked.
And then it just all of a sudden clicked, and my goodness, he got to rolling, and those young receivers, like Green Bay, boy, I tell you, some organizations just have an eye for talent at certain positions. And I'm not saying Jordan Love is about to be Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, but would you bet against it?
Not with that franchise. And Hugh, it's the same formula. You mentioned this today, Hugh. They did it again. They Favre, Rodgers sat, he played, and now they may have done this again.
You know what the unfortunate thing about playing the quarterback position is for most teams? Most teams don't have the luxury to sit a quarterback.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was the way that you used to do it back in the day.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers have had the luxury of keeping quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks, till they get absolutely tired of their ass and then ship them off to New York. That's basically what happened.
Well, that's funny.
They
It's also
ship
the
them off.
Jets. They shipped them off just again. And now we get to watch them against the Eagles tonight. What's on the menu? Sponsored by Hatfield. Put pork on your fork. Visit simplyhatfield.com for game day recipe inspiration. All right, Hugh, how would you – so Ike just told us he has the Niners a little bit down off the Super Bowl. How would you rank the top of the NFC, Hugh? Because the way I look at it, I still have Detroit and San Francisco a cut above because I just watched those two teams in the title game and the Super Bowl. And, Hugh, I think the Eagles and Green Bay are very similar. A lot of offensive firepower, young quarterbacks that are already paid and now are expected to be great, and then young defenses that could go either way. Like it could gel or that could hold those two teams back. How do you rank the top of the NFC?
You know what? I think the Eagles are right there because I think the offense is going to win the day. And you know what's funny? And I was just looking it up. When you talk about the total ranked defenses last year, the Green Bay Packers were tied for 17th.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Well, and that got them to the second round of the playoffs.
Exactly. That's the point that I'm making, Joe. If this Eagles defense starts off slow, I'm just trying to wrap it up for y'all because I've been trying to sprinkle y'all with this game since I've been here. So I'm just trying to wrap it all up for you. But if this offense does what I think that it can do, and this defense comes along slowly, we can be one of those teams that are in contention. The Detroit Lions defense wasn't that great like last year. Yeah. When you talk about the standings and everything,
they also found themselves in a lot of shootouts.
19th. I just looked it up. 19th. The Detroit Lions were the 19th ranked defense.
Yeah.
So that makes, y'all don't understand. That makes my point even stronger.
Yeah, but where was San Francisco? Who won the conference?
Yeah, because here's the thing.
They had a top 5 defense.
Well, here's the thing Joe and I can say. We're not saying that you need to have the number one defense. We're saying you can't treat defense as if it doesn't matter because when you look at Detroit and Green Bay, that's ultimately what cost them.
Hey,
they couldn't stop San Francisco.
And that's why the Niners were in the Super Bowl.
That's why the Niners were in the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying it's not I'm not saying you don't need one. Listen,
there we go.
This is what I'm saying for both y'all to understand. I know I need a toilet. I don't need a gold-plated toilet. All I need is a toilet.
So you're saying last year we had no toilet?
Boy, that's a new one right there.
I just drop it on you. Hey, man.
Listen, look at the crowd out here trying to wrap their mind around that.
Did I just sprinkle them with it? I just hit them with it. I just came up with that one. That was just dropped.
I wasn't ready for that one.
I don't need a gold toilet. All I need is a toilet.
I think you need to workshop that one. I'm not sure about that. All right, so we all agree. Whatever the order is, we agree the top 4 in the NFC. Yes. San Francisco, Detroit, Eagles, Green Bay.
That's top 4, yes.
Each of you, give me a team that we're not talking about, but by the playoffs, they're there, and we have to keep our eye on.
In the NFC?
NFC.
Dang. So I've flipped on this a couple of times. Because I like some of these young teams. You know who I'm going to go with? Because I got to go with an out of the box.
Yeah, out of the box.
I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears.
No, come on, man.
They got Caleb.
Here's why.
I know what he's going to say, the quarterback.
No, here's why. The defense, Hugh.
Yeah.
Chicago, over the second half of the season, had the number 1 defense in the league. So they've added to the offense. They've given Caleb Williams a lot of weapons. If he can harness all that talent that he has, where he likes to whirly-dirl and spin and throw the football, if he can settle some of that down and they can manage to win, I think they can win 9 to 10 games and possibly get that wild card spot.
Hugh, I don't think he's crazy. Now, he's a rookie quarterback. Caleb Williams is a rookie, but they've got talent there. Who's your team in the NFC?
Real quick, Joe. Real quick, Hugh. C.J. Stroud made me a believer that you don't have to put a ceiling on rookie quarterbacks.
Well,
no, that's true.
I'm glad you said that. Hugh, before you give your team, quickly mine, and I don't think they're going to be as good as these teams. I'm not saying Super Bowl contention. I think Washington could pop with a rookie quarterback. We've laughed at the Commanders for years.
That's actually who I was going back and forth with Chicago.
I think they could be in the mix.
Washington,
Hugh, give me an NFC team that you think that will be in the playoffs.
You know what's funny? I just put it up, Atlanta, and I want to be consistent because I picked the Atlanta Falcons a couple days ago. They got a quarterback. They've been drafted. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
They got a pretty good defense. They went out and who was the defensive end they got from
Judon.
Matthew Judon.
Yep.
Grady Jarrett's coming off an injury. He's going to be ready to roll. And you know when you talk about
guy Justin Simmons.
Yes, and when you talk about Kirk Cousins, like Kirk Cousins won some playoff games. Like he's been a pretty decent quarterback.
A playoff game.
Well, some sounds better. So when you let me cook.
A little
man.
dash of hot sauce on that.
Yeah, let me cook, man. Okay, Kirk Cousins. Okay, for the sake of who I'm sitting on the stage with, I can't use the hyperbole. Kirk Cousins has won a playoff game. They got first-round draft picks on offense all over the place. You talk about Drake London.
Bijan.
You talk about Bijan Robinson. Mm-hmm. You talk about Kyle Pitts, the tight end. So they got some players out there, man. And they just paid the young corner that they have out there.
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell. So it's one of those teams, man, they're going to play a cake schedule. And they feel like, I'm telling you, man, Atlanta Falcons fans right now, they're looking past the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they're waiting for who's going to play us.
We'll see them next week.
We will
coming out of your back.
I was long talking a little bit.
Yeah, a little long talking. All right, on the other side, we'll talk to Dave Spadaro, who to watch tonight in the game between the Eagles and the Packers. This is the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Eagles game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Eagles watching. Better with Pepsi.
Hey, football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Pennsylvania only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted my new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota. So
I was looking at our lads.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug of war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan. My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all
Brother,
ends June
what's
3rd.
going on?
Toyota.
Brother,
Let's go
wait a
places.
minute. Here you
Dealer
go.
inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Little Caesars has free delivery this week, and there's no catch.
No catch? But I'm a wide receiver. Does that mean I can't catch footballs anymore? Oh, no. I'm going to have to move back in with my parents.
No, it's free delivery. There's no catch, meaning it's actually free.
Oh, good. My parents will make me mow the lawn.
Get Little Caesars, official pizza partner of the Philadelphia Eagles, delivered on game day with free delivery for a limited time. Pizza. Offer valid 9/2 through 9/15 at participating Little Caesars stores on app and online orders, excluding third-party online sites. Taxes still apply. Cannot be combined with other offers. Limit one conversion per day. Delivery is available at participating locations.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out. Because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out. With tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Planet Fitness Philadelphia is a proud sponsor of the Philadelphia Eagles. Deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Hey, Eagles fans, are you sidelined by joint pain? Rothman's got you. At Rothman Orthopedics, practicing specialized orthopedic care has been their passion for over 50 years. That's 50 years of high-quality, compassionate, affordable care with physicians who are dedicated to advanced treatment options and better outcomes. So you can tailgate like a pro, watch our Eagles fly, and root for our birds like no other fans in the country. They're Rothman Orthopedics, and they specialize in you.
By the time you're finished listening to this
like hotcakes.
Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Eagles game day is so close, you can almost taste it.
Yeah.
Eagles watching. Better with Pepsi.
I'm Mark Lynch, business manager of IBEW Local Union 98. We are
Boy,
proud
Dave,
to connect with the best NECA Pendle Jersey chapter. Together, NECA and Local 98 do the work that powers our great city. Local 98's 5,500 highly trained members approach every job with integrity and excellence. Our clients can count on superior craftsmanship completed utilizing the latest methods, and we're always ensuring safety on the job. If you want the best for your next project, use the top-notch professionals of IBEW Local Union 98.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling if it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
This is Brandon Graham. Eagles football plays here. 94 WIP.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. We're on Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles, of course, are in Brazil getting ready for an 8:15 kickoff against the Green Bay Packers. And joining us to talk about the game and what we're watching for tonight is Dave Spadaro. Dave, how you doing tonight?
I'm great. A wonderful crowd here. I'm emceeing the watch party tonight, so I'm really excited about that. And we are really proud and really honored that all of these fans came. It sold out, nearly 10,000 fans. And by comparison, Baltimore had a watch party and they had 1,500 people. So, that just speaks to how much.
Serious?
Yeah, that speaks to how much Eagles football matters to these people in the city of Philadelphia and the surrounding area.
Well, speaking of those fans, we're going to have a couple join us in about 10 minutes up here and lead us in an Eagles chant. So a couple of the great fans are going to be joining us in a few minutes. All right, let's get to the player and players of the game we should watch. Sponsored by IBEW Local Union 98 in partnership with Nika Penn Dell Jersey. They're proud to power progress in Philadelphia. All right, Dave, let's talk about some of the names that will not be there tonight and how that impacts what we'll see tonight. So no Devin White. We're guessing that means a lot of Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond, maybe some Trot. And then the corner situation, no Isaiah Rodgers. What do you think that means for the rotation at corner?
I think it means Quinyon Mitchell plays a ton on the outside. They have options inside with potentially Avonte Maddox, for example. And that is really what I'm looking at. I want to see a secondary that runs better than it ran last year. And against this Packers wide receiver crew, and with a quarterback like Jordan Love who can put the ball anywhere, I think it's a great test out of the gates. It is a loss, no doubt, without Isaiah Rodgers. The Eagles have known that he's been hurt for a couple of weeks now, and so, the sense of him not playing, they've gotten Q ready, and I think they think Q is ready for big things. I mean, he's been really, really impressive.
Linebacker, is it Dean and Bond, or do
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so, and then Trot would play a little bit, and who else is in that mix? I don't think Van Sumeren is too far behind.
What about
the
Burns
Burks,
kid?
Oren Burks, who hadn't really played much with the injury until the last preseason game, was around the football a lot, but you could see a lot of the rust. He missed a lot of tackles, but a veteran guy who's ready to play. So, after watching last night and seeing how Kansas City and Baltimore utilized the short passing game, again, these linebackers are going to be playing in space, and they're going to have to cover, and they're going to have to tackle really well. And usually early in the season, because they haven't played very much, you guys can speak to it much more than I, there's a lot of potentially missed tackles because you don't play a lot in the preseason. So hopefully that's not the case tonight.
Well, hopefully the Eagles can make people miss on their offense if we're not
hey,
people on the other side.
If Eric Wilson, number 45, is on the field for the Green Bay Packers, former Eagle, I know that Adrian Cooper is their rookie and he's a hot shot, but he's been limited by injury. If Eric Wilson is on the field, I am splitting out Saquon Barkley. I'm displacing him, and I'm using him like Brian Westbrook, and I'm putting Eric Wilson in space, and I'm taking advantage of that matchup.
How much different do you think the offense will look tonight with Kellen Moore? People want to see motion, maybe even Devontae Smith, Dave, being used in different areas, not just on the outside. Could we see Devontae moving inside at times?
Yeah, I think what Kellen wants is in and out of the huddle really quickly, a quick tempo, which doesn't mean no huddle, but at times they'll use that. Crisp execution, no false starts, no mental errors, and certainly some pre-snap motion. And I think you'll see designed runs for Jalen Hurts. It's something the Eagles didn't have last year. Teams played the run, and I think that the idea is to get Jalen back to being that multiple threat.
Do we think Cooper DeJean has a role tonight? We haven't seen inactives yet.
Come on, Coop!
He only had a couple weeks. He's active.
He's
okay.
active.
Come on, Coop!
All right. I would suspect his role will be on special teams. I don't think he's had enough time. He missed 3 weeks of training camp and played one preseason game. He's mentally ready. Physically, I'm not sure he's there.
He's a football player, right? Get him on the field.
Get him on the field.
Times done changed, dog. Trying to tell.
No, in all honesty, it does take a little bit to get ready to be at his best. So he's certainly not at that point just yet. And you want Avonte out there to start off everything. Yeah. But if something were to happen with Avonte, Cooper has to go in there and play.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, and that is there's no excuses at all. And I don't think the Eagles they are excited to play this game. It's been a great week for the Eagles. The practices leading up to this. You know what we watched, guys, as you know, in training camp, when the media goes away and the fans go away, everything changes. So we saw a lot of vanilla offense. We saw a lot of running the football, basic routes. I think what you're going to see today, a lot of layers to this Eagles offense, and I can't wait to see what Vic Fangio has in mind against a really, really dynamic Green Bay Packers offense that I think is extremely similar to what the Eagles are going to do.
Dave, last one for you. Jahan Dotson, what kind of role should we expect? He's only been here a few weeks, but
no, he's ready to go.
Okay,
Yep, a big role, a lot of work, and I think you're right. Devontae can move inside. They can move Dotson outside, create some matchups. I think the Eagles feel they have a very strong advantage against the Green Bay cornerbacks.
Great stuff. Dave Spadaro, we appreciate you hopping up, and it's going to be a fun time here at the Link tonight for the party. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
The Piazza Auto Group is proud to have served as the halftime sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network for over 20 years. As we hope for another championship, it's the perfect time to drive home in the new or certified pre-owned vehicle you've been wanting. The Piazza Auto Group features 18 brands, including Honda, Acura, Mazda, Hyundai, Genesis, Mini, Nissan, Subaru, and Volkswagen. To find the location nearest you or to shop their extensive inventory, visit PiazzaAutoGroup.com.
This week at Acme, don't miss the football items of the week, like Nutella Be Ready, or Nutella Chocolate Hazelnut Spread for $3.49, Nutella Biscuits for $3.99, or Nutella and Go for $5.99 each. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
True Philly fans know that thirsty birds fly faster with Bird Gang Spirits. Bird Gang's starting lineup of bourbon, vodka, and tequilas are made for true Philly fans. The pre-gamers, the tailgaters, dieharders, and lifelongers. This year's limited edition release of Bird Gang commemorates the 75th anniversary of the Eagles' 1949 World Championship. Pick up a bottle at your liquor store today or order directly at BOTLD.com. Bird Gang Spirit. Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. We're live at Lincoln Financial Field. We're going to be joined in a couple minutes by Dave and Eric, our fans tonight, to help lead us in an Eagles chant here. Howard joins us in a few minutes. But, guys, what hit you there from Dave Spadaro? It hit me like designed runs for Jalen Hurts. That means the burst people saw in training camp, they must feel like he's good, he's healthy, he's ready to run.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it. I mean,
so
listen.
you got real excited when they said it.
Well, that means you're wrong on this. They're going to run him.
I'm okay with a few of them in there. Listen.
Keep the defense honest.
He's
why we got the running back then?
Now listen, don't get me wrong. Now you brought up Lamar last night. I don't need Jalen running 16, 17 times. I don't need that. But if you give me 5 or 6 design runs, I'm okay with that.
Hugh, what do you think?
Why can't we get a running back like Pacheco? Why can't
Saquon?
Why can't listen? I need my quarterback to run when it's absolutely necessary. I don't need to design a run for him. Why can't we keep this guy healthy? You complain about all the time the man don't stay healthy. Now you want to run him 6 times?
I just want to keep the defense honest. I want to keep the defense honest.
You know what I want him to do?
His offense was better when he was a threat.
He was better.
And you know what? The Kansas City Chiefs offense is better because Patrick Mahomes is still.
But we don't have Mahomes.
I know we don't, but
we
he
gotta
can be
make the
close
most
to that.
of Hurts.
We could be close. He could be close to that, man. The game is still won from the pocket. I'm talking. Let me cook.
I'm sorry.
Let me cook. No, the game can still be won from the pocket. Now I hear what you're saying about the design run because it's a threat and it puts defenses on alert. But you know what also puts defenses on alert? When the quarterback doesn't run, and when he does run and he takes off, it just makes it different. And that's what I want to see. Like, I go back to the plays that Patrick Mahomes made last night, the ones that he's made in the Super Bowl. He runs on teams when teams expect it the least.
Mm-hmm.
And you know just as well as I do, Ike, as a defender, when you get locked in and you know a quarterback's not going to run, you get lax in your thinking.
Yeah.
And that's when he hurts you. Patrick Mahomes hurts you when you least expect it.
You want it to be an element of surprise.
That's the one thing that turns the tide of the game for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs is when he pulls it down and runs it when you least expect it. And that's when it breaks your back at the worst time. That defense, you talk about Baltimore's defense last night, they played well enough to win. They even got a sack. They sacked him a couple times, if I'm not mistaken. At least got him one time.
Mm-hmm.
The time that when he took off, when nobody expected him to take off, that's when he hurt you the most. We know Jalen can run, and in the back of your mind as a defender, I'm going to always respect that. I don't need him to do it all the time. Beat you. You got enough receivers out there. You got a running back. Let them guys eat, man. Let them guys run the ball and do their thing.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most fascinating things how Kellen Moore is going to marry what he does on offense, like his system, what he did with the Cowboys, versus what Jalen does well and what the Eagles have done in the past, how quickly it all meshes together. We're going to start seeing that tonight. All right, Howard Eskin's going to join us in a few minutes, but we're going to welcome up here
down today,
our fans of the night here at the Eagles Pregame Show, Dave and Eric joining us up on the stage. And in a minute here, they're going to lead us in an Eagles chant. All right, guys, Dave, Eric, welcome to the Eagles Pregame Show. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Thanks for having us. Well, we're happy to have you. Now, before we get to the Eagles chant here, I need a prediction from you guys. Give me a bold prediction for the season. What do you got?
I'm feeling like a 31-24, something like that. Eagles.
They're on the same page with the score. You guys rehearse that? Or you thinking the same?
No, it just feels right. It feels right. We got the better offense. They're down like 3 running backs. We'll be right there.
I like this. They came up here with takes. I like this.
I have a question.
What's your question, Hugh?
Now, is the Eagles fight song?
No, it's a chant.
Eagles chant. Okay.
Oh yeah, we don't need a fight song.
No, because I was just making sure. Because I was, I just wanted to be on the same page as everybody else.
Hugh, let's not go too far. All right? Yes. Too far here. All right, guys, are you ready here? You ready to lead everyone here in an Eagles chant, guys?
We're ready, but
are y'all ready for these guys?
Hey, if you want them to hear us in Brazil, we're gonna need some Ike juice.
I just saw y'all with 2 cans of it.
I was like, yeah, we need more Ike juice, though.
You got your own Ike juice here. All right, guys.
Brazil, ready, guys?
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
There we go. Now we're talking here. All right, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Eric.
Good job.
We appreciate those guys coming up here. All right, on the other side, Howard Eskin joins us next. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP. Field. Joe Giglio joined by Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, and joining us right now as we get set for a game between the Eagles and the Packers, Howard Eskin. Howard, how are we doing tonight?
Is this microphone? There we go.
Yeah, it's on.
Go ahead, come on, Howard.
It wasn't on before. I'm doing just great, but I'm going to challenge. I love Dave Spadaro.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to challenge something. But you just ask me what you want to ask me, and then I'll.
Well, no, now I want you to challenge Spadaro. What do you got for us?
Okay, well, he says design runs. They averaged 4.5 RPOs a game before. Those are designed runs, correct?
Well, the RPO, he could keep it. You mean him running it off the RPO or just the play?
Running it off the RPO.
Right,
they designed plays before.
But when he says design runs, I think it's a run off the snap. Like he's
done that before.
No, I know, but more of that is interesting because he didn't do as much last year.
I don't want too much of that.
Well, you're like Hugh.
It's rare, but yes.
Are you reconsidering now? That's the question.
No, I won't reconsider. A quarterback wins. That's why Lamar Jackson, I know, is very talented. But when he has 123 yards, I don't know that that's good for a team.
Well, they only scored 20 points. So.
Yeah, right. I don't know that that's good for a team. I want the quarterback to be a quarterback. And he runs.
What does that mean?
Well, it's like Patrick Mahomes. He's
can't be Patrick
Mahomes. There's only one Mahomes, guys.
Yeah, but he scrambles to buy time.
I know.
The real good ones used to scramble to buy time to make a pass. When you have 3rd and 9, you have a better chance of passing for a first down than you do for running for a first down. So, that's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm. All right, Howard.
We are on the same page with this.
I know. You got to rethink it here, Hugh.
Man, no, I think Howard's finally coming. Like, listen, I'm rubbing off on people, man. You hear me? Since I've been here, I'm rubbing off on folks.
I hope not, because then I'm going to have to take a shower.
Yeah, Hugh pat himself on the back. All right, Howard, let's talk about the injury news this week. And both of them kind of came out of left field, at least for us. We weren't expecting it. First, we'll start with Devin White. Howard, what do you think is going on here? Because it's bizarre. He was running with the ones most of the summer, and then it's an ankle injury. He did not travel to Brazil, and then the reports came out. I'm curious if you heard something similar or the opposite, that the Eagles were considering trading him at cutdown day. What's going on with Devin White?
Okay, so the reports were on social media.
Well, it was put out by Albert Breer. It wasn't just some person.
Okay, yeah.
I think Jeff McClain had it too.
Yeah, once one has it, then they all have it. It's just...
Insider of the Year rankings we got to talk about. No, go ahead, Howard.
I don't care about that. I recuse myself anyway.
Oh, that's right.
So the reality is, I think he's really got an injury. Now, why would you take him first of all, on a plane, an injury?
Oh, it's a sprained ankle.
But it's no good to take somebody on.
They ain't want to feed him. They ain't want to feed him.
Are they saving meal money here, Hugh?
$5 million to get him here.
They treat him like he's $5 million is that's chump change nowadays.
Somebody give me that chump change.
You had your chump change. All right.
Yeah, you stole money. Both you guys stole money, actually. Ike from Atlanta and you've been
stealing money for 20 years.
That's all right, but I'm good at it.
Hey.
I don't feel like I've stolen money yet. Can I get to that part? Howard, Devin White, when he gets healthy, do you think he's the starter?
We'll see how Nakobe Dean plays.
That's not a yes.
Hey, what does that mean?
That means if he plays well, you got to...
His inner Joe the Camera right there. Joe the Camera didn't...
He's on the fence all the time.
Hey, don't compare me to Joe.
Well, then have a take, Howard. All right. So
if he's healthy, he will have the opportunity to become the starter again.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see when he gets healthy.
But we see when he gets healthy, and he'll have over a week.
It's a sprained ankle, man. Did he break it?
Wait a minute. You don't know what kind of sprain it is.
Oh, right. You're right.
It's bizarre.
I've never sprained an ankle before.
No, that you don't fly when you're injured because. I'm telling you,
it's not an ACL tear.
No. I'm talking about.
You get swollen. It's swollen.
It swells on a plane. That's why guys dehydrate on the plane.
Get thirsty.
Oh, they have plenty of water.
What are we talking about?
All right, Howard. Isaiah Rodgers.
Doctor too. Remember, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, that's right. Dr.
PhD. I forgot about that.
All right, King PhD. Howard, the other injury that came out yesterday, Isaiah Rodgers out for the game. Now, remember what you understand, they've known for a little while he had the hand issue. But you were high on him, Howard. You thought he'd start.
I still am.
So now what at corner? Quignon going to play every snap?
He'll probably play a lot of them. Yeah,
he's going to play every snap.
Yeah. It's just, well, it depends. Yeah. He's probably going to play every snap.
All right,
Who
so-
else are they going to put? Well, I don't know. Keely Ringo might be out there for a little while.
All right, Howard, the Packers often use 4 wide receivers. Who are the 4 corners? I mean, we're starting to get a little thin here, right? So we have Slay, Quinion, Keely. Are we going back to Avonte Maddox?
Yeah. I like him. If Avante's healthy, Avonte Maddox is healthy, I like him. He's a nice player.
Cooper DeJean or not tonight?
Probably not a lot.
Okay.
Because he hasn't had that much camp.
Put Cooper out there.
I'd rather see Cooper than Avonte Maddox.
Well,
of course.
Yeah, eventually you will.
Yeah, but they have young, fast receivers. Give me the younger, faster corner on the field.
You said that's what you want. You want to
Get a
maximize.
pass rush.
You
That's
want to get
All right,
maximize
well,
as much as you can.
Well, hold on. You just brought up something that is a real sore spot.
Okay, let's talk about that. Howard, where's the pass rush
Yeah,
coming
get a
from?
pass rush.
everywhere.
Where's
I'm
it
telling
coming
you,
from?
he's sending guys from all over the
We're
place.
blitzing tonight?
There's going to be a corner. There's going to be safety. There's going to be a linebacker. Everybody's going to be coming tonight.
Oh, God.
At one time or another.
No pause. Pause.
So seriously, if they do that, and I actually believe you in that Howard, because I don't know if you were being facetious when you said that.
No,
but
I'm not being facetious.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that in the preseason, and when coaches are blitzing in the preseason, that lets you know that that's going to be a part of what he does this year. And so I saw an awful lot of slot corner blitzing and the linebackers, the stacked linebackers.
Yep.
They were doing a lot more rushing than they were actually covering guys. So that's a way to also not have Nakobe Dean in coverage.
Send him
Right?
on
Just
the
send
block.
him on a blitz.
Yeah.
And I think he could do that. I think
Send
he
him on
actually be
blitz.
effective on that.
But it puts pressure on your back 4.
They got to cut, and they
They
can't
gotta-
get beat right away.
Yes.
You got a lot of speed. Like the one thing that they have though in the secondary
Now.
is speed.
Yep.
They got a lot of speed back
They
there,
do.
man. And you know, like I look at it like this: our guys gonna get beat, yeah, but you got the kind of speed where you got guys take chances, jump routes if they get once they get comfortable, and have that recovery speed to say if they guess wrong or whatever. So there's gonna be some opportunities back there for that defense to make some plays.
And I tell you, and I know Jordan Love did a great job the second half of the season taking care of the football. But the one thing that when I watch Jordan Love play, that I think is a tell sign, and I hope we have keyed in on this. He throws off his back foot an awful lot.
It did him in against the Niners.
Yes.
Through the interception, yeah.
He throws off his back foot a lot, and that comes because he has this confidence in his arm that he can still get the ball there. So we may have an opportunity to pick him off a couple times.
That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, they're gonna go with what they know. Like I know they just got a running back. I can't remember his name right now.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, but they're gonna go with what they know, and that's why I feel like we should do the opposite. I think that tonight should be one of those games where this should be the possession game. And what I mean by that is,
I took the over.
Howard, where do you come down
No.
this? Hugh wants to run the football.
yeah, I want to run the ball, Howard. I want to run the ball.
They'll run the ball, but they need to score at least 27 points.
I agree.
And if you're going to run the ball, you take that away from an offense that has the ability to score a lot of points. I'm telling you,
I agree with
I
that.
don't care about putting.
Okay, I agree with
I mean,
that.
I like to put the ball in Saquon's hands as a receiver
Right.
in open space, and that's just the same as running the ball if you put it in.
No,
his
I hear
hands.
you, because that was the same philosophy that Big Red had. But boy, it's something to be said about a guy lining up in that backfield and just taking you to task up front, like with the offensive line and everything. And I think Saquon Barkley can do that.
Yep.
And I also think that if you do that it adds a different layer or a different dimension to your offense. I really do.
And I think that's one of the reasons they got him. And I think you're going to see a lot of that. So you got to score points. And this nonsense, holding the ball and possession and winning 21.
Well, that's because we're scared of the defense.
Yeah, of course we are.
I'm not if you're scared. Get a dog.
I have one. That doesn't fix the pass rush. Howard, what's the number tonight? The Eagles have to get to what number to win?
27.
27 is the number. All right, Howard, we'll be listening with you and Merrill and Mike. We're going to have Merrill joining us next right here on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP. Welcome back to the Verizon pregame show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. Joe Giglio alongside Hugh Douglas, Ike Reese, and joining us from the booth right now is Merrill Reese as we embark on another season. Merrill, how are you doing tonight?
I am great. I am so excited. I really am. We've gone through the preseason. We've seen the auditions. We've looked at the team pared down to their final 53, but tonight, it all begins, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, we can too, Merrill. It's very exciting, the Eagles and Packers, and it's a big game. Merrill, let's hit your keys here to the game. What are you thinking as far as the keys to victory tonight?
All right, number one, Joe, avoid the usual early season mistakes. I'm talking about the false starts, the encroachments, too many men on the field. Last night watching the game, there were so many calls about illegal formations. So the big thing is play a clean game. Okay, number two, protect Jalen Hurts. The Eagles must pick up the blitz, and they're going to be tested early. This was a major problem late last season. Hopefully they have improved in that area. And number three, use the new kickoff formation to your advantage. All preseason, they stayed very basic. Time to see some tricks.
Merrill, what do you think of the new kickoff? We saw it a little bit in the preseason last night. There weren't many returns. I think teams are still kind of feeling out what they're going to do, how they're going to approach the strategy of it. But now that you've seen a little bit more preseason last night, what do you think of this new kickoff rule?
You know, I've said to myself that I've got to wait 5 or 6 weeks to really judge it and see how teams use it. Now, last night, I heard my friend Mike Tirico on the telecast say he thinks there are going to be a lot of kickoffs into the end zone. So teams will just expect and accept the fact that the ball will come out to the 30-yard line. I tend to differ with that. Now, he may be right, but I tend to think they're going to loop it high and somewhere in the area of what they call the landing zone between the 20 and the goal line, and then come down, and then they're allowed to move and try to contain that return man somewhere inside the 20.
Yeah, it's unique. It looks different, and we'll see how it plays out and if teams change their strategies as the year goes on. Merrill, we appreciate it as always, and we'll be listening with you and Mike and Howard as we kick this season off in just a little bit. Thank you, Merrill.
Merrill. Thank you, Joe.
There he goes, Merrill Reese from the booth here. All right, so one thing Merrill mentioned, guys, that we haven't spoken too much about yet, we've been focused on the game, the Packers, Hurts, the offense, is the protection. And Ike, I mean, this is the first game. I heard, actually, Joe DeCamera mentioned this morning. This is the first game the Eagles will play without Jason Kelce since the playoff game against the Packers here when Michael Vick was the quarterback. It's been a very long time since we haven't had Jason Kelce playing center for the Eagles. Ike, a new center, Cam Jurgens, and then with that, it's a double whammy, right? Because Cam was a starter last year, but now we have a new right guard as well. Where are you on the offensive line, and specifically those two? I think we're good at left guard, we're good at left tackle, obviously great at right tackle.
Yeah.
Those two, your confidence in them as we enter the season?
I have no concern about Cam Jurgens. Zero. I have zero concern about Cam Jurgens. When he came out of college, he was the best center in all of football, all of college football. He's gotten a chance to learn under Jeff Stoutland for 2 straight years. He hasn't played center, but he's lined up next to Jason Kelce, and I guarantee you, from the time Cam Jurgens has been here, he's been a part of the center quarterback meetings. He understands the blitz protections and all those types of things, because he's the first guy that was going to be called upon if something happened to Jason to where he had to play. So from a mental standpoint, he's already there. Physically, I think he's bigger and a little stronger than Jason Kelce. Not as athletic as Jason Kelce. Doesn't have that thing that made Jason Kelce special as far as being able to block guys in open space and pull. But it doesn't mean he can't be effective doing some of those things. So I got a little concerned about Cam Jurgens. Listen, Mekhi Becton, I always thought it was going to be a reclamation project. When they signed him, they gave him the type of money that they gave him, and that they would try to kick him in to play guard. It may be easier for him because he can use that size. When you're his size and you're on an island and you have to block a 250-pound speed athlete coming around the edge.
It's tough, yeah.
That's not easy to do. But now he's going to be protected to his left and his right. And because of that size, he can just lean on guys. And if there's a matchup like tonight, Green Bay has 2 great defensive tackles that get after the quarterback.
Kenny Clark
and Rashawn Gary from Michigan. That's where you're going to get the trio of Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, and Landon Dickerson, figuring out what they're going to do. And then Saquon, who's a very good pass protecting back, he has the ability to clean up any mess that leaks through those inside gaps.
Yeah, Hugh, I'm mostly with Ike that Jurgens is going to figure this out. And it might take him a little bit to be, where Kelsey was mentally, but physically he's got a lot, and that's why he's a high pick. Hugh, I am still scratching my head over the Becton thing. It feels like the Eagles, who always prioritize the line, kind of went a little bit different this year and just found a journeyman and said, we'll plug him in. Because, the Jets needed offensive linemen. And he was a first-round pick of theirs, and they just said, we're done with you.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing about it? Like, playing guard ain't easy, especially when you're like 6'7" or whatever Mekhi Becton is, man.
Yeah.
Kenny Clark ain't no little dude. He's a grown-ass man. And we've seen times where, like Chris Jones last night, he moving around, and he catches the weakest link on the defensive line, on the offensive line, and he tries to exploit that. Like, I think his biggest issue, Mekhi's, is going to be how to stay low and keep his blocks and keep his back flat. You always hear offensive linemen talk about keeping the flat back, and being able to play in space. That might be a problem, especially when you got those big dudes that are playing over you. Not so much the big dudes, Joe. It's them little dudes. It's them Aaron Donald types that have low center of gravity, that got the power that might give him more trouble. But tonight, I feel like, with a guy of his size, there's ways you could compensate for his lack as if he's getting beat or whatever. And one of them is getting the balls out of your hand quick. But
what?
Get the ball out of your hand quick.
I heard you.
Pause, Hugh.
Pause.
My goodness, man.
Get the ball out quick. But the bottom line is this.
Singular, not plural.
Yes. But the bottom line is this, man. I mean, I'm not as worried about Cam, like I said, as Mekhi might be. He might be the one that might be a problem.
Well, it could be. And look, we know this. The Packers are going to blitz. I mean, the teams are going to
give it to them.
They're going to blitz the Eagles and blitz Jalen Hurts until they figure it out. There's no question about that. It's going to be a big part of every team over this season. The Packers, the Falcons, the Saints. And tonight we start to see if this new offense, Jalen Hurts, if they've got it down, and the new center here with Cam Jurgens, and of course what they have with right guard Mekhi Becton. On the other side, we're going to be joined by Eliot Shorr-Parks live from Brazil. I know Eliot's concerned about this offensive line. We'll get his thoughts on the game, the matchup, all of it. This is the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Hey, Eagles fans, this is Merrill Reese. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in Philly's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a Philly area Verizon store.
Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola tailgating and watching the birds. It doesn't get any better. So stop by your local PA Fun Wine and Good Spirits store and save $1 on cases of Jack and Coke and Jack and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, along with Jack Honey and Lemonade, Jack and Ginger Ale, and Jack and Tennessee Apple Fizz. All ready to drink in a can. Jack and Coke, born for the tailgate. Please drink responsibly. Whiskey specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels Little Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Drive into summer with a Honda CR-V and Accord. Your fun-to-drive, weekend getaway vehicles. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Kick off game day the right way this season with Hers, the snack that's rooted in Philly. They've been a hometown favorite for nearly 8 decades and counting. So when you say their first team all flavor, you can taste it. Hers runs a deep roster of unbelievable flavors like zesty, sour cream and onion, sweet and smoky honey barbecue, and slightly spicy jalapeno kettle chips. So next Birds game, you can't help but go for 2.
You there, Mike?
That is, Hers, rooted in flavor.
You there, Mike? Mike?
Patriots.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, do we have a sounder
Best
for
of all.
Eliot?
Official energy provider of the Philadelphia Eagles.
When it comes to unique experiences, pick Tick Pick, an official fan experience partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. With no hidden fees ever, pick Tick Pick to attend an exclusive tailgate in Tick Pick Landing at Lincoln Financial Field. A chance to win prizes or hold the American flag on the field. Pre-game for every Eagles home game. You'll even have a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Eagles-Dallas game on December 29th. Download the Tick Pick app and enjoy the best experiences supporting your Philadelphia Eagles this season.
This football season, get in the game at Acme. Buy participating products and receive touchdown tokens to redeem for entries into the Swoopin' and Win sweepstakes. You could win 2025 Eagles season tickets or autographed Eagles merch and more. Acme, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles.
True Philly fans know that thirsty birds fly faster with Bird Gang Spirits. Bird Gang's starting lineup of bourbon, vodka, and tequilas are made for true Philly fans. The pre-gamers, the tailgaters, dieharders, and lifelongers. This year's limited edition release of Bird Gang commemorates the 75th anniversary of the Eagles' 1949 World Championship. Pick up a bottle at your liquor store today or order directly at BOTLD.com. Bird Gang Spirits. Go Birds! 2024 Bird Gang Spirit. Direct delivery available only to PA residents. Please drink responsibly.
This week at Acme, don't miss the football items of the week, like Nutella Be Ready or Nutella Chocolate Hazelnut Spread for $3.49, Nutella Biscuits for $3.99, or Nutella and Go for $5.99 each. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
The Eagles play here. Sports Radio 94 WIP. This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. Tonight they take on the Green Bay Packers in the first game of the 2024 season. Joe Giglio alongside Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas here at the link, and joining us right now from down in Brazil, Eliot Shorr-Parks. Eliot, how are we doing tonight? How's Brazil?
Damn.
Eliot? All right, we'll get to Eliot here in a second. Okay, Eliot we'll be with him in a second. All right, before we get there, let's hit the keys to the game, brought to you by United Tire. For the best tire prices anywhere, don't drive alone, drive United. Guys, we did see a report from Tony Dungy down in Brazil, because NBC's there, Peacock is there, he's there, that the field is slippery, Hugh. Slippery. It is wet and slippery in Brazil. I didn't see the rain was in the forecast. Maybe it's just atmospheric. We know this from the Super Bowl 2 years ago. But, Hugh, obviously the biggest thing we're going to see and wonder about is the pass rush. How difficult is it, Hugh, in the grass to get off a pass rush with slippery field?
You know what's funny? It's easy for me to say that because say what I'm about to say because I'm sitting here and I don't know what the condition of the field is. I don't know if it's a grass field. I'm assuming it is.
Yeah,
it's a grass field.
Yeah. So I mean, man, I used to just put a longer cleat in the front. Like, I used to wear like the screw-ins, the studs, and I used to always just as a pass rusher, knowing that how crucial that first step is, I would put a longer stud in the first cleat and have the other ones kind of like just a little bit off balance. Like the longest cleat would be in the front. So it wouldn't be an issue for me, Joe. If the grass is slick, as long as it's grass and I could dig in, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I got to be honest with you. I'm more concerned with our back seven. He's good. I'm more concerned with our back seven than I am the front four. Not sure how much we got to pass rush with in the first place, so I don't know how that's going to impact us. But I could see where the slippery surface can impact us in the open field making tackles.
Well, it certainly.
With the linebackers and the corners and the safety. So I'm more concerned about that.
Big plays being allowed. Yeah, it could be a big thing. All right, let's get to the 3 keys with ESP as Eliot gets set to join us.
3 keys with ESP.
All right, we have Eliot from down in Brazil. Eliot, how are we doing?
Awesome.
All right, we'll try Eliot again. I mean, we did hit the cool sounder there. We got the Eliot sounder here. All right, so we do have a slippery field. The other things going on tonight, in terms of keys to the game, Mike, we know we talked about the pass rush, and that's a major part of it. And we talked about the Eagles stopping the opponent's blitz. Here's my question. Do you think we see the Eagles have a shorter passing game to combat the blitz? Or is it they're going to try to protect it and block it up normal?
Yeah, I could see that for sure. And as a matter of fact, that should be a part of how they're going to defend against the blitz. Because, like, sometimes a defense can bring more guys than you can block. So then it becomes on the quarterback to get the ball out quick. And
that
that's
didn't
how you
happen
beat the
last year.
blitz.
And Hugh, we still don't know why, Hugh, that didn't happen last year. We had Dallas Goedert on our show last year. Remember, and I'll never forget when he told us they had answers to the blitz.
They had blitz beaters, but
and they didn't get to them.
them.
And that, look, that was left open for why they didn't get to them.
Right.
But they need to have answers, Hugh, because teams are going to come after them. And if they just decide to run 10 yards down the field before turning around, Jalen's dead.
It's two things that come to mind when we talk about this game tonight. Number one is take what the defense gives you initially. And the second is we ain't got to shoot all the bullets out the gun tonight. Like save some for the sequel. Like tonight.
I got to win tonight, Hugh.
So listen.
What is wrong with you?
Let me cook.
Okay.
Man,
Man,
what I'm
you
saying
burning
is
up the food, though.
No, but let me say what I'm saying is this. I don't need to
Kitchen's
see.
on fire.
I don't think tonight I need to show the entire NFL my whole playbook. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think that is necessary when you're talking about playing against a middling defense like the Green Bay Packers. The one
that was last year's defense.
And Ike, no disrespect to college coordinators.
Jeff Hafley.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah.
No
I'm with you
disrespect.
there, yeah.
But how many times?
Yeah.
Like from the time that when we got
That's
here,
not gonna work.
that when we got here, and the teams that we've played that come in with that college mentality, that rah-rah, what you call it, Johnny, what you call it?
High school Harry?
High school Harry stuff.
Yeah.
That dog don't hunt in the NFL, man. Not in that first season.
What's the college version of that? Charlie College? What's
I
the
guess.
high school
Joe
Harry?
College?
Joe
Joe
College?
College?
I like Joe College.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you there. I think
because
Green
remember
Bay can struggle. Yeah.
Remember when Spurrier came in? Spurrier came in, and he came in the preseason.
Chip. I mean,
and
Chip.
he funded
okay
and gunning.
for 1 year.
Yeah,
but
dog, once they figure you out, like, dog, this here is a different animal.
It is interesting. These two teams are very similar in a lot
Very
of ways.
similar.
The highly paid young quarterback, right? You have that. You have a lot of offensive weapons. Theirs are younger, but it's still a lot of weapons.
Yep.
Highly paid running back now. They imported from another team.
Josh Jacobs.
And all these high picks on defense that I don't have any idea if their guys can play. I mean, I know they picked a lot of them in the first and second and third round last year, just like we did. And their seasons depend on if those guys can play, and we see it starting tonight. They're very similar teams.
I agree. And it's going to be – you go out and get Josh Jacobs. To me, that says you're going to run the ball a little bit. So not that they can't throw the ball with their young wide receivers there, but those guys are second and third year players for the most part. And none of them are truly established star wide receivers in this league.
They have like 4 good ones.
Yeah.
They're promising ones.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Like, you got a good collection of guys.
But no superstar.
Josh Jacobs is a bell cow in that backfield. And it just dawned on me, if the surface is slippery or what have you, we have a smallish type of front seven. With the exception of Carter and Davis, everybody else is pretty much undersized. Bryce Huff, Nakobe, Zach Bond. Like, these guys aren't the biggest guys. So are they going to be out there running around blocks? Or are you going? And Hugh, you know this. You got to take that. When you're that stacked linebacker, you can't run around blocks. That was Devin White's problem. You can't run around blocks because what happens is the offensive lineman just pushes you past the hole and you create a bigger issue there. You got to stuff that lineman back in the hole, get off the block, and make the tackle.
The more we talk through this, the more it feels like Nakobe Dean is a big key tonight. He's going to play a lot. They're going to try to attack him in the passing game when he's out there, and they're going to run at him. I mean, tonight, it's not even over the top. It's the biggest game of his NFL career by far. And what Howard said to us, Hugh, it feels like Nakobe can earn himself a full-time starting role if he plays well tonight. Devin White, we won't even talk about him anymore.
Yeah, and it's one of those nights where I understand that everybody's talking about this defense and all this stuff, but you can help that defense out. You know how you can help them out?
Get a lead.
Get that.
Run the ball.
Hey, you beat me to it there, big fella. Run the ball.
Yeah.
Like we're talking
Win that time of possession.
We're talking about this team.
Oh, you're speaking to the people now.
No,
Hugh.
but that's
this
what I'm
is
trying
Philadelphia.
to tell you.
Run the ball.
We're sitting
Run
here.
the ball.
Let me break this down for you a little bit. We've had a week where we just found out that a linebacker that we gave $3 million to ain't playing. And he didn't even make the trip.
He's in North America. They're in South America.
He's hanging out with us. He's probably across the bridge chilling. And then we find out one of the corners that we was depending on to be in the lineup tonight ain't playing. and y'all talk about how these defensive line, all these linebackers and what they need to do. You know what y'all need to do is to help them out? Run the damn ball. That's it. Just run the ball, dog.
Preach, Hugh. All right,
That's
Hugh's
it.
preaching.
I got a congregation.
I know
now.
you do.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Reverend Douglas says run the football. All right, coming up on the other side, we will make our official predictions for the game. Who do we got winning? What's the final score? We'll hit that next. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
The Nissan Rogue.
Hey, Joe.
Built it helps you make the most of your drive. Take care of the small.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Google, cool down my car.
And
Hey, Google, turn on the dog feeder.
or change
Mike.
up your adventure.
Hey.
Union signatory contractors of Local 825, repaving our roads, keeping our homes bright and warm, and even building our favorite team stadium. We understand infrastructure. That's why ELAC and Local 825 are ready to get to work.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Reacting the Eagles season opener tomorrow, 8 to 10 a.m. Hugh Douglas and Joe Giglio on 94 WIP.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. Oh, we're getting close now to kickoff, 8:15 down in Brazil. And here's what I know just happened here. Hugh Douglas was showing us some videos of Saquon Barkley. Is he looking running backish tonight, Hugh?
He looking real running backish.
Got the quads on swole tonight.
Man, let that man have the football, man. Go on, feed that man tonight.
Real, because I bet 2 touchdowns.
He been starving. How long you been in the league? For 6 years?
He's been waiting to get on the team like
this. He's starving, man. Feed that man tonight, man. Let that man eat.
Listen, he thought he loved being in New York.
No, he gonna love being here.
He gonna love being in Philly.
Feed that man, man. Let that man eat tonight.
Let him eat tonight, Hugh.
Let him eat.
Well, this is all I say. We get to that 1 yard line. I don't need to see the tush push, man.
Can you talk to Joe about that? Talk to Joe about that.
We were discussing 4th and 1 from the 40 or whatever.
I don't need to see
tush push.
That's fine.
That's tush push area.
I don't need to see the tush push.
Well, that's because you have an anytime touchdown for Saquon.
So do I.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
We get
to that 1 yard line. I need to get the ball to Saquon.
Good idea. Let's get the touchdown for Saquon Barkley. All right. Before we finish with our predictions, before we get there for the final score, who do you think is going to win? What kind of game are we seeing tonight? Ike, do you think it's more of a both teams try to run it, keep the other defense off the field, their own defense off the field, or are we getting a shootout down in Brazil?
I think we're going to get a little bit of both. I think there'll be some rust that'll be shown from our first teamers who haven't really been in live game action this preseason, so some of that's understandable, and that's going to be on both sides of the ball. I mean, I don't expect drop passes or anything of that nature, but you may get a little bit of confusion up front because the offensive line is, for the first time, they're going to get a chance to see what this Green Bay Packers defense presents to them. So there may be some adjustments that need to be made there. And then I look at the back end of the defense. When I look at the secondary, we just need to communicate tonight to make sure that there are no mix-ups and blown coverages out there against these wide receivers. So I think it's going to be, I don't know if I would call it a high-scoring game, but it won't be a low-scoring game. I got them in the high to mid-20s, both teams.
Yeah, Hugh, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think both offenses are going to rule the day today. And I could see it ending like last night where the last team that has the ball, that game comes down to that. Hugh, do you think it's higher scoring or more kind of in the middle tonight?
I said high-scoring game, but to be honest, the more that I think about it, I mean, I feel like the game last night set us up for failure a little bit because that was a phenomenal game against two teams that had a lot of bad blood between them. I think there's going to be a lot of mistakes made tonight because you're talking about offense for the most part. This is going to be their first outing in a live fire situation. So there's going to be some mistakes and everything. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think there are probably going to be some mistakes. But like I said, when it gets like that, go back to your bread and butter. And in this case, the bread and butter, give the ball to Saquon Barkley.
All right, guys, it is time. It is time for our predictions for the first game of the 2024 season. And oftentimes in football, you need your teammates to pick you up. So that's why I'm going to go first, so these guys could pick me up here with the predictions to wrap this show up. I have the Packers winning the game, guys. I want to say the Eagles, but I am concerned about the offensive line tonight. I'm concerned about the pass rush. Yeah, boo me, boo me,
yes,
boo me,
louder.
Boo me. I have the Packers 30-24. First game with two new coordinators. I think the Eagles will be way better as the season goes on. Tonight is a challenge. The other team has more continuity. I have the Packers 30-24. Hugh Douglas, your prediction. I know you've changed yours as the summer has gone on.
Man, let me tell you, I was like, when we first started doing this, Joe, and we started looking at the schedule, I was adamant that I felt the Green Bay Packers were a better team. But I don't feel that way anymore, man. And part of that is because of the Eagles lineage that I am a part of. I think this team has gotten over all of those negative things that happened in the postseason, well, before the season even started, and they're on a better page now. So I'm picking the Eagles to win this game, man.
Give me a score, Hugh. Give me a score.
I'm going to say, I'm thinking 30-24. That
same score as me. All right, so opposite. 24? Those are our scores. All right, Ike Reese, you wrap it up here. Tell us who wins.
Well, first of all, you're soft in the candy ass for picking the Packers tonight. So let me just get that out of the way. You being our quarterback tonight, leading this show. Great job up until your prediction of the game.
That's why I didn't say anything till now. Go ahead.
And usually I got to bring us home. So quite frankly, we didn't go all the way to Brazil to lose to the stinking cheeseheads. Nobody went all the way over there to lose to the stinking cheeseheads. We going over there to win a game. We got a Super Bowl to get to at the end of the season. We're here tonight at Lincoln Financial Field to watch our beloved Birds win the opening game of the season. I got the Eagles tonight, 27-24. Go Birds!
27-24.
Let the church say amen.
Reverend Ike with the 27-24. You know what? I like your predictions way better than mine. All right. We all think it's going to be a high-scoring game. We'll find out tonight.
Almost busted a vessel in my brain.
Are you ready for week 1 here?
You were cooking.
Well,
you were cooking.
You good?
I'm good.
Just like the teams, you got 10 days till the next game. We'll be here again for the next one. That would be the Eagles and the Falcons. All right, that wraps up the Verizon pregame show. Remember to stay tuned after the game for the PDQ Restaurant Point of Sale Systems postgame show with Rob Ellis and Jason Avant. For Ike, Hugh, Eliot, who we thought we had, Howard, Dave Spadaro, I'm Joe Giglio, and of course Mike Angelina, Dan Wilson, Dave Breitmeyer, Andrew Swank, Austin Yim, and Danny Ryan, all a big part of this thing. Now stay tuned for Merrill and Mike as they bring you all the action on the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.